Hi guys, Martin here, mcfcfantv. How are we all doing? We've just watched Manchester City smash West Bromwich Albion for a high five and gone back to the top of the Premier League with quite a healthy goal difference as well. And is that our best performance of the season? We'll get into it. I'm just going to say a few hellos and then we'll bring in the two guests that we've got. Dupe, top of the league, indeed. Gundo is on some other level. He is. He's on fire at the minute, that boy. We are top of the league. We are MCFC and we're staying top of the league. Well, we might not be. Might be off it by tomorrow, mate. Ryan Sterling's top of the league. I sang that during the watch-along. Hi, Awas. Fancy seeing you here. Hi, Martin. Good win tonight. Adam Quinn. Yes, it was. Hello, lovely people. Scotty Mel just say hi. Scotty, best for a long time. Mahrez played well after the first 15 minutes. Hope he keeps it up. Yeah. Tom Betts, he did. I hope I didn't wake any of your children up tonight, by the way. Every true football fan in the country is Sheffield United fan tomorrow. Yeah, let's not say they're going to get anything because they're not. Gundo has, I mean, listen, miracles happen, but not that many. Gundo has turned into a beast. Wow, wow, wow. Where's he been for the last 2 or 3 years? Maybe he's been played correctly for the first time in 2 or 3 years, eh? Same role that he had at Dortmund. He's never had the role at Dortmund. He never had the role at City that he had at Dortmund, is what I was about to say. That makes sense. He's always kind of been a bit further back, a bit more sort of suffocated a bit, should I say. But now the reins have been let free with Ilkay Gundogan. Hello, mate. How are you? I am not late. Charlie Everett, hi guys, 5-star performance from the Blues. It was. City are untouchable, unbeatable. City. Good evening, Blues. Right, what I'm going to do is, because there's loads on, we're going to get into this. We're going to bring our guests on. First one I'm going to bring on is Kurt. How are you, buddy?
I'm fantastic, mate. 5 goals, another clean sheet, 3 more points. And as we all know, we're over the 40-point mark, so happy days.
We certainly are. Are you in a good mood? Are you regretting anything that you might want to say before we get going? Or
I did say we were going to score early yesterday.
Didn't mean that. I meant about a certain manager that you said was amazing.
No, I've got no comment to make on that at the moment.
He's suddenly going to become like a solicitor. No comment. Well,
all I can say is with that man back in the Premier League, Wrigley's don't have to worry about going out of business. So,
yeah, and they all thought they had when Fergie retired, didn't they? Martin on fight. Listen, I'm just. Martin's had a wardrobe change. I have had a wardrobe change. Please give the lads a thumbs up. Thank you. Yes. And our other guest tonight, all the way from Washington, Mr. Positivity himself. KARL, how are you?
You thought you won the league at Sunderland. You're not.
Carry on. Don't stop.
That's my favorite song, man. I'm telling you, whenever I hear that song, I get goosebumps. I saw a lady on Twitter today, City fan. I think it's Liz Chapman with her baby.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I love that song. It's my favorite City song.
Hang on. Stand up. Give us a twirl. What's that? You wearing that Quality Street? Are you wearing the Quality Street shirt there?
Yeah.
I like that one, to be fair. I like the dark purple.
Yeah,
I did have it, but my missus has nicked it as a 90 now.
Yeah. It's my favorite song. I mean, since the title win, it was just, I get goosebumps. It takes me back, 8-10 years. So.
It was a great day that day.
I've not bought my missus PJs in years. She just has all my old shirts. Martin, please start doing the predictions. City seems to listen to you. I've only done 2. Calm down. Well, I have got more than 2. But... Hello, KARL, Mr. USA. Mr. USA. Wow. Mm-hmm. So, let's get into it then. 5-0. Top of the league. Goal difference of plus 23. Kurt, come to you first, because I know what KARL's going to say. Because KARL is just so... I buzz off KARL. You put you can just have an awful day and KARL makes you smile.
Yeah, it's that American. For me personally, yeah, the most complete performance with everything in it is, especially we've had other good performances where we've had 3 or 4 standout players, but tonight was truly a team performance. Everybody put a shift in no matter what, and I was delighted. I'm happiest most with the clean sheet as always. I think it's so good to keep that rolling. It got a little bit dicey at the end when West Brom decided they wanted to have a go with 3 minutes left on the clock. But yeah, I'm truly there's so much praise I could heap onto the players tonight. The performances were just so outstanding.
KARL?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you guys for yesterday's preview, the show. It's probably one of the best I've watched throughout. It was really good. Really good for mcfcfantv. It was exceptional. The quality, the discussion, the debates, the analysis was top quality, really. I really enjoyed it. And I think it set the stage for today, frankly, which was good. But the performance today, and where do we start, man, guys? Where do we start? I mean, formation. 4-3-3, 3-1-3-3, 4-4-2-4. I mean, it was just, at some point, you didn't know who was playing anywhere anymore, right? It was, Laporte left back, Diaz centre back. What was Cancelo doing? Was he playing as a holding? Was he part of the 3 up front? Was he part of the 3 in the middle? It was just total football. This is Johan Cruyff, Pep Guardiola football at its height. Total football all over the whole pitch. Movement, passing, positioning, awareness, 1 touch, 2 touches, control. I mean, this is an exercise in total football. I haven't seen any club this year play this kind of football. Not in England, even in Europe. Not Bayern Munich, not Real Madrid, not Barcelona, no one. It's really good to see. I know they say it's West Brom, but you can only play who's in front of you. And they were on it tonight. Really good to see.
Yeah. Kurt, do you want me to? No, I'm not going to mention Big Sam. I'm only joking.
You're more than welcome to, mate. You're more than welcome to if you want to.
I'm only joking. Let's go from the beginning, because 2 or 3 minutes in, I thought West Brom started really positively in a way that I wasn't expecting. I thought West Brom were going to sit back, and they didn't. They sort of come out and they had a little go. I've had a look at the handball again. I think it would have been very, very harsh had that been given from that sort of distance. I think when the ball's whacked at you from less than a yard, I don't think that should have been. But we had a little bit of a shaky start, and then after that, it was just total football dominance. What I liked about it, before I want to analyse every single goal. We'll go through it all, but I do honestly think, and I said it in the watch along. Do you know what I liked? And Chris mentioned it. Yes, it being the watch along in the comments. He said, when I said who's going to replace KDB, and Chris said nobody. And now I know what he meant, because everyone was replacing him tonight.
Yep.
And the one thing that West Brom couldn't deal with, Sam Allardyce had gone out with his team and probably gone, mark him, we know where they're going to go. Mm-hmm. That went out the window after 10 minutes because nobody was in the same position more than 5 minutes. They were switching around. I mean, I called it the magic roundabout during the match because they were literally switching in and out. I mean, Sterling in the first 20 minutes had played 4 positions. So how the hell is a West Brom defender, a midfielder, anyone going to be able to keep up when we can't really keep up as fans about what they're going to do? So what did you think of that, Kurt? Is my basic question around that one.
Well, as KARL mentioned, like trying to figure out in the comments, I was like, is he this? Is he doing this? What's going on with this? It was superb. In regards to the Kevin De Bruyne replacing him, we saw that that Bernardo sort of played in that sort of position. But as you said, it was everyone was having a chance to have a run or a go in the spaces that Kevin normally occupies, which was lovely to see. I was actually quite surprised with the setup of West Brom personally, that they went for two banks of 4 when they've had their success with 3 at the back, playing with 5 and someone a bit closer up. They tried to put Pereira next to Robinson, and they're both in behind players. They're not really hold it up. So every time the ball went up to them, they was Diaz, Stones, Rodri, everyone was just eating that ball back up for breakfast, and they really couldn't get themselves any sort of after the sort of first 10 minutes, they couldn't really sort of get any control in the game. So I was a bit surprised by that. But yeah, it was amazing in terms of the creative thing. I wasn't worried. I'd been saying it for a while. I wasn't particularly stressed about Kevin De Bruyne being out. Obviously, it's a loss to lose your best player. But like I said many times, we're not Liverpool, we're not Manchester United, you know. We don't lose one player and then give everything up, call the season off, you know.
Yeah. I've got to before I bring in KARL, I've got to mention this because
yes.
John Grove, not was for calling the King. What a day.
Yes.
Funeral today.
Yes.
And that was
special.
looking down on that team tonight going, thank you, they are my boys. And it was amazing. But KARL, at any point did you gather where everyone was going to be playing?
Well, before I want to talk about Ilkay Gundogan did King Calling good tonight. He wore the shirt with honor. He wore the shirt proudly, and it did what Colin would have done in that kind of team. I've gone back and looked at some YouTube videos of King Colin, and that tonight was how he would have played. Backwards, forwards, sideways, in and out, moving around the whole place, touches, passing and moving. So he did him proud today with those 2 goals. But you know, Pep has said that he would play with 10 midfielders if he could, right? And frankly, today we probably played with 11 midfielders, frankly, on the field, because I mean, even Ederson had a header, right? They were all over the whole field, completely. And it gets to the point where I tend to think sometimes Kevin is our best player. Sometimes he may become a crutch, right? Where they're all looking to him to do something special and not taking it upon themselves to move and pass and move around the field and up their game. That's what we saw in 18-19. And we've seen that again this season. Now Kevin's out. Now it's early in the season. We'll see. But I have a feeling that the players are going to step up because everybody's going to be committed to playing the way the Pep is instructing them to play. That fluid, dynamic movement is going to be key. You know, no Jesus, no Aguero, 5 goals. It could have been 7.
Yeah. I don't know where you go with this, but it was amazing. It was just, I thought it was the best we played all season. I'm not going to lie. Let's go into it then. Ilkay Gundogan. I mean, I mentioned it at the opening. That's the Gundo we signed from Dortmund. That was the Gundo Man United nearly signed.
Yeah.
Not the Gundo we've had. Which, you know, I'm open. I have criticised. Like a lot of City fans have criticised. But he's a lot more advanced. He's got a lot more freedom now in that midfield. It's as though like the sort of pause button's been took off him and he's now just going. And he's playing with a smile and a freedom that he's not probably done in the past 2 years. And boy, is it showing. And he loves this little turn. And tonight, great ball from Cancelo, which we will go into. Cancelo was outstanding tonight. But that ball from Cancelo, but to stop the ball dead, because you got to remember at the time, he had 2 defenders next to it. And he stopped the ball dead, brought it back 2 yards in the process of doing it, which took the 2 defenders forward 3 or 4 yards, which gave him the space to put the shot in. And what a hit. It's just Kurt. He's just getting better, isn't he?
Well, for me, I think that the two factors of why we're seeing Gundogan performing consistently a lot better is because he's been diminished in his defensive responsibilities. Because most of the time in the last 2 or 3 years we've seen him play, it's been with 2 holders or him as the holding with David and Kevin in front of him. So he obviously hasn't got the license to do what he necessarily wants to do with the ball. But in terms of touching and controlling the ball and moving it around, he's one of the best in the club. In my opinion, one of the top 3 in the whole game. First touch, second touch, through balls, side balls. He can really do whatever he wants, and it's just a question of keeping the form consistent. And 7 goals in his last 8 games. He's really stepped up when we needed him, and giving him, like you said earlier, him getting the chance to play in a more advanced roles is obviously where we're going to see the best of him, because that's where his talent lies. But he's been absolutely on some unbelievable form. The first goal was fantastic. I personally liked his second goal more, just the work rate, the tenacity in the box. That's something we used to see from David Silva, because David Silva was very good at that. Hacking down a man, not getting yellow cards, winning the ball back for us. Everyone's going, oh, he's soft. But everyone who watched David Silva knew that he was great at putting a tackle in, breaking up play, high up the pitch, and Gundogan was doing that tonight.
Question for KARL.
Yep.
I'm going to come to you with this, Kurt.
Yep.
Do you think we've all talked about Phil Foden
Mhm.
and everyone else stepping up, taking the David Silva position? Have we all forgotten about Ilkay Gundogan, that he can do that position? Because for me,
Well,
it's looking like the replacement right now.
I don't know, because what I saw from Foden on Saturday was a Sunday. I'm confused, mate. I'm just confused because I watched the game again. Phil was on another level. I haven't seen a player control the game that way since I watched Iniesta and Xavi in 2012. Frankly, go back and watch the game again. The way he was controlling the game with his passing, his movement, his positioning was on another level. But then you have this problem with Ilkay stepping it up even more. So what do we do?
Well, I'm just going to leave this here for the minute. Go on.
They're challenging each other, Carl. That's what they do. And they're saying, I'm stepping up. Are you going to step up? And he's going, I'm stepping up. So are you going to step up? And it's just resonating throughout the whole squad.
Because I'll tell you what pleased me the most when I kept my eye on this game. I watched Laporte, Stones, Diaz, and Cancelo and Rodri in that back five. The rotation, the movement, no errors. It was a sight to behold. It was beautiful. And I sent a text to the kids that I coach football. I said, watch this game. Watch how these guys are playing. This is what we're talking about keeping the ball, about passing and moving, about working hard off the ball. This is what we're talking about. This is how you play the game. Don't just hoof the ball 50 yards. I want you to try to play like this. If you lose the ball, fine. Watch it. And they all watched it. And they were like, wow, this is football.
Special stuff, mate, is what it is.
I mean, we're lucky, man. We are lucky and blessed to watch this at City. I mean, this is, for all the heartache the City fans have endured for the past 30, 40, 50 years, you guys deserve this. I'm telling you, man. You guys deserve this. And I would not support any of the club. It's amazing to watch. Goodness.
Come on, guys, let's get these likes up. We got 100 on the watch along. Let's get 100 on the post match. Just for these two being on, giving out the time for coming on.
I'll tell you what, Martin, all right? I guarantee you, right, that Liverpool and United players and fans are watching it and going, oh my God. They have no Kevin. They have no Aguero. They're not even playing a striker. Oh my God!
It could be 7 points or more ahead of Liverpool before we play him. And I'm not sure it was to you, Kurt, or to KARL. I said to one. I know I said it to one of you that imagine going to Anfield where, not saying the result doesn't matter, but in terms of if we get beat, it's not a complete and not a disaster. I mean, that could be so. I mean, right now, I'll be honest with you, I think we'll go there and annihilate the way we're playing. But imagine that the pressure's off.
Yeah, well, I think the reality was, I said back in November when I come on, when things were looking a little bit ropey, and I was saying, let's all see where we're at when February rolls around. We're less than a week away from February rolling round, and we're in a bloody good spot. And February is not going to be an easy month. It is really, and to be ramping up the level of form we are at the time we're at, it not only sends a message to our rivals, it sends a message to everyone everywhere that we're going to potentially play, that we're not mucking about and we're really on it. Because before, everyone's always had that little thing of, oh, they're without this player, or they're missing Laporte, or their defense is a bit shaky, or they always concede goals. There's none of that now. Rock solid at the back, scoring goals. Midfield dominates almost every game. Almost every player's ramping up their form. Even Sterling I want to credit him for his tenacity to keep going tonight, because it could have been very easy just going, oh, we're winning this game. I'm not having a great game, whatever. But he kept on going. He kept on going. Fantastic ball from Mahrez. Yeah. What can I say? We're going places this season. It's very, very, very joyful to watch.
And when Varane came on, again, he's dynamic. He moves around quickly. His touches are brilliant. It's just, I didn't even, when Bernardo went off, I didn't even know. It was just, I was confused. 3-1-3-3, 4-4-3-3, 4-2-4. It was, it was just like,
Well, so we've got into Gundogan with a great. Cancelo, the second goal.
Oh.
Now, KARL, you know yourself. You know, you like me. You coach kids. First thing you tell them at 5, play to the whistle. You always tell them that.
Correct.
I do think Sean Massey, bless her soul, put herself in a real problem there because I think she stuck a flag up so prematurely. They always say, I remember Keith Hackett and somebody else a long time ago saying, good referees and good officials, because we've now got to call lines people officials.
Yeah.
Give yourself thinking time. Give yourself that 5 or 10 seconds thinking time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know VAR's there to back them up. I know VAR is there to assist them because the way people got to remember VAR is being used, it's not to overrule referees. It's not to make referees look stupid. The idea is to assist the referees and double checking that everything is right. But where it looks a bit of a farce and it looks stupid is when Sean Massey sticks a flag up so early, the whole West Brom, you could see it from where the camera angle was. All 4 or 5 of their defenders stopped and stared at the flag. All of them did, to a man. And even Johnson stopped the goal there. Ball comes out to Cancelo. Lovely finish. Absolutely a plump finish into the net. But you could see the confusion that reigned. And I immediately went, no, not a goal. And then when you look at it, it's bang on a goal. Mm-hmm. Now, I just put it down to what a finish by Cancelo, but I think it was an error all around from Sean Massey and the West Brom defenders there. I think it just confusion reigned and tough luck.
I have got a point about what I think. I've seen it a couple times with linos this season. It almost seems like linesmen want to one-up VAR and catch it before VAR to sort of show, I don't need VAR. Because if you looked at the offside, the player that was actually closest to him, he would have been offside for it. And I think the lino's seen that and gone, oh, that's offside, and wants to catch it, wants to be like, look, they don't even need VAR. So that sort of thing. And they haven't looked at obviously the player on the far side, which is the one playing him on. So I think that may be part of the issue because I've seen it a couple times where linesmen have put their lines, they've put their what's it up, and it's not been the correct call. So I don't know if that's a bit of a part to play, but you're completely correct. You've got to play to the whistle, and they should wait for the phase of play to end. We've seen it multiple times when people have been 6 yards off. The guy bangs it in. Everyone's like, why are we even doing this? We all know it's going to be cool, but they still do it. Because you've got to.
Kurt, I think about the Sean Massey's era today, and our players taking advantage of that. I think about the Aston Villa, Rodri taking advantage of the law, knowing the law. There's a level of intelligence and maturity the players are showing now that they didn't show before, which I think is going to help us this season, not just in the Premier League, but also in Europe. They're playing like players who know how to take advantage of situations to make sure they kill off a game. That's what I took from what happened today.
They've probably looked at what other teams are doing in this league and how they're going about positioning themselves to get decisions or make the most out of potential. So they're probably going, you know what, we need to be a bit wising up ourselves, Yeah. Mourinho's sides are doing it. Klopp's sides are doing it. Ollie's sides are doing it, Yep.
Well, Shedder's just put here. And I'm going to there's a comment by Shedders and one by Andy. I will try and come back to everyone's comments, so I do apologise if I do miss all your comments. Shedders 1 says, aren't the linos supposed to keep their flag down and leave it to VAR unless it's obvious?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was until the phase of play ended. That's how I understood it. But like I said, I don't read the rule book every year. So
Andy's come back here with a very, very good point when I can find it. We know they should play to the end of the play, but it's confusing when you see the lino flagging so early, which is what I said. I think that threw every single West Brom player up. Because at that point, they're waiting, the flag is up, they're waiting for the referee to blow.
Right. And Martin, kudos to the referee that he didn't blow. He let the play could finish off, and then he blew the whistle, which gave the VAR the opportunity to go back and correct it if there was an error.
Which is what Andy says here. Is it a PGMOL rule? Thought they were supposed to wait. Now, obviously, you're talking about the referees council and things like this. Thought they were supposed to wait, and it's exactly what you just said, Kurt. They've got to wait for the phase of play to start.
That's what they always say on the channel. So I assume it's still the way it is. Yeah, it's a very strange one, but I think it might just be linos and officials trying to one up VAR. That may be an incorrect take, but that's my personal view.
Yeah. Remember that game, Kurt? I think it was it Brighton or some game where the referee blew the whistle before the ball hit the net, and then the goal was supposed to be allowed, but it was called off. Remember that? It was a game.
Like we all know, it's integrating this technology. It's not as simple as something with goal line technology where it's just over the line, the thing goes and it's done. It's going to take time, but yeah, the refs and the officials need to just wait until the phase of play is over, even if it is nonsensical. Sometimes the best way forward.
Sorry, I'm just wondering. There was something coming through. I just wanted to double check it. But yeah, João Cancelo, what a finish at the end of the day. Not his fault. We played on. We played to the whistle. What a finish. And for me, I'll go 3-man of the match at the end. But I mean, I don't agree with some people saying here world's best right back and everything else. He wasn't even a right back tonight. If you look at the game as a whole, he sort of played the number 6 sort of role. As I said, to me, he wasn't a 6, he wasn't an 8, he was sort of a 7, sort of stuck in between the two a little bit. But I tell you what, some of the balls he was putting in, he got an assist for the first goal, put in the second, and maybe, like Gary Neville said, he can't defend. Okay, Pep's gone, I won't play as a bloody defender then, screw you.
It's the spaces he's occupying.
Yeah,
I think is so prevalent because he's basically creating another attacking player in the final third, which they don't because they've seen for multiple games how far inside he comes. I've seen him next to the left back and the left wing sometimes, and as defenders, it's like how far am I supposed to cover him? When do I hand him off to the next man? It just adds an extra layer of confusion in the final third, especially against teams that have the lower blocks.
Yeah,
it's been great. It's been a real source of dynamism going forward for us, Cancelo has.
I think, Martin. I think we need to think about the ultimate Pep team. So I think about Barcelona 2012. Dani Alves, was he really a defender? Not really. He was more of a Cancelo kind of player. He had Abidal. Was Abidal really a left back? Not really. He was more of a Mendy type, but who had better defensive quality. So the perfect Pep team doesn't have a traditional number 9. Doesn't have traditional fullbacks. They're all players who are good on the ball, interchange. They go in, they come out, they control, they pass, they move, they switch the point of attack. That's what they do. That's what we saw tonight. So it begs a question: if Pep Guardiola had a magic wand, what kind of players would he buy and play completely to play the way he would play in his dreams? It's a question. And Cancelo playing the way he's playing right now kind of fits that mold. When you have 2 strong center backs, remember I think Barcelona had the Puyol and they had PK or somebody else, right? The 2 center backs who were pretty strong. But the fullbacks were always bombing forward, always tucking in, always creating chances. Same thing's happening here with Stones and Diaz.
I do think Tommy's very, very proud at the moment. We were going to get Tom on the post-match, but he's working tomorrow, so he's gone to bed early. But no doubt Tom has gone to bed with a big smile on his face.
But I really loved the Laporte, Stones, and Diaz combination at the back. It just looked so solid.
I was just going to say, because of how early the substitution, it genuinely felt like Pep was like, game's over. I'm trying a new system we've been working on in training. I've got a good 40 minutes to see it out, see how it works. And I think that's what we saw when Laporte came on. Yeah. Because it was a really early substitution.
Yeah, so, he did that on Sunday too against Cheltenham. I think when he brought in Laporte, he brought in Diaz when we were down. Yeah. And
then the commentators were saying this is how much we don't know. We're calling for an attacker and he brings on a defender. That's why he's the best in the world.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And like everyone's saying recently, he just looks rejuvenated. He looks so happy. He smiles all day. He just looks like he's loving life, and all the squad do as well.
I mean, who wouldn't love life when the club gives you everything that you want? Think about it, right? You have your friends around you. The directors is your friend. They're real friends, and it's
especially in these times, mate. If you're all together, it can only mean so much. You've got to go to work every day in this situation.
Ollie Brown is a West Brom fan. More than welcome to come on. Albion fan here. We got what we deserved. You guys were great. Yeah. You even took your foot off the gas second half, which we will talk about. I'm pleased he did. For obvious reasons.
Martin, to Ollie Brown, I guess a question to him. I mean, Slaven Bilic got a point, at the Etihad. They sack him, bring in Allardyce, and he chops how many goals in like how many games? What 20 now? 15? I mean,
yeah.
How does he feel about that?
I think they have. Honestly, I don't think it was just the football.
No, there was other reasons.
Something else. Apparently, there was a fallout at board level as well.
I know a couple of West Brom fans, and they were really upset to see Bilic go. They really liked him, and they were extremely grateful for him to get him back into.
Apparently, from what I've read and heard, it wasn't just football. There was a lot of other.
But Slaven Bilic, he has a bit of a record of having not agreeable terms with boards that he's worked for, right? Before.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, let's move on to goals 3 and 4. We mentioned Gundo got his brace, which is just outstanding. Like I said, that's one thing you look at from a good team. At the moment, we haven't got a number 9. We haven't got Aguero. I don't, listen, it's my way I think about it, but Gabby's not a consistent goal scorer. Never will be. I don't think he will. That's just what I think.
Agree.
I think he works his damn socks off and he runs himself into the ground, and that's why I think maybe as a winger at some point, I think he'd do an amazing job, like he does for Brazil. But then when you've got your midfielders chipping in with 9, 10, 11 goals a season, if you remember back to the Centurion season, we had our midfielders chipping in with 15 to 20 goals a season. That makes a hell of a difference. And that scares teams, because teams aren't just sat there now going, like, hang on a minute. Like, not only have I got, right, I just man-mark Aguero, where I'll man-mark Sterling, or I'll man-mark. They don't do somebody man-mark anymore because we've got goals coming from everywhere, from right backs, left backs, centre backs. They don't know what to do. And I think when you've got someone like Gundogan who can get double figures in goals, I think it just shows you how good of a team and what good diversity we have within the squad right now. And that's where I just think with Gundogan, I think he just only gets better.
I don't think we should underestimate how difficult it is to play the system that Pep wants us to play. It is extremely difficult to play because you have to have been drilled on positional play. You have to know who's next to you, who's supposed to be there, timing, the runs, without even looking, who's supposed to be there. It's a very difficult system to implement in your team. And I think Pep has thrown up another evolution of the way he plays, the way he gets Man City to play that other teams have to figure out. 17-18 was the wide, Sane, Sterling, Aguero, the pace, the power. 18-19 was more controlled with David Silva, kind of with the pockets of Bernardo Silva. Now it's kind of everyone and no number 9. No number 9, guys. Not Aguero, not Jesus. Not even Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, another thing I would say, to be fair, sorry to interrupt, is Gabby he didn't have enough time tonight, really, to influence the game as what he probably would like to have done. And I would say that, especially what that West Brom fan said, we did take our foot off the gas a little bit second half. And it's very hard to come in. I think it's a lot harder for a sub to come into a game when the game's dead.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Yourself. So in Gabby's defence, I think it's a lot harder to come in when you're 4-0 up, 5-0 up, you're like the game over.
I like Gabby. I've always liked him. I think his role is a different role. I don't think he's a traditional number 9, the killer in the box. I think he has a role to play. But then again, going back to Guardiola's philosophy, does he really play with a number 9? David Villa, Pedro, Messi, they weren't really 9s. They were, again, into swapping players who moved around the whole field. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Kurt, so.
Yeah, KARL, that's for you, mate.
Well, just for
I bet he was watching. I guarantee he was watching, thinking, "Oh my God, if I can get in this team, how many goals would I score, man?"
The one thing I would say about Jesus is for people that often sometimes say, "I don't really know what he does." I feel like the perfect game to sort of showcase Jesus would have been away at Real Madrid. That's exactly the type of player he is and what he does. Pressing forward, in the sort of vertical, runs, drifts wide, allows wide forwards to come inside, you know. So, but like I say, he came on. He was the last of the substitutions, and he came on at 60 minutes. I didn't necessarily think he had anything bad, but in terms of us scoring goals, it's fantastic, because that's all what we've been waiting to know. We all know that we've got players that can score goals from anywhere on the pitch. I'd like to bring back to a weird press conference Pep had a while back when he was talking about we need to cross more and we need to get more players in the box and we need goals from more places. And we're kind of seeing what he meant by that now, right? In terms of what he actually meant rather than what he said at the time. And it's truly fantastic. Like I said before, everyone's ramping up into form. It's the perfect time of the season. It's kicking on for the second half now.
Yeah.
Through in every competition.
Yeah, Andy's absolutely right. Pep had a great smile on his face, like a cat was full of milk. You know, they often say the best meals are the meals that you cook and leave them out for a day and go back to them. They taste better. I guarantee you, go back tomorrow and watch that game again. You see things that you didn't see tonight, and you'll be blown away again. That's how you really enjoy and digest the game. I'm going to do that tomorrow, so it should be great. But it's just great to watch, man. My eyes are seeing this. It's like, wow. I mean, what the hell? Just incredible.
And confidence breeds confidence, and that's what our squad's got in abundance, from the manager down to whoever comes on the pitch. It's great to see.
Yep.
I mean, I've got to say, that fifth goal, you could see Pep purring. Even Pep was like,
it's one of those like that.
And you know what made me? It was the three players that I've had the most stick all season.
Yeah.
My boys.
Mahrez.
Yeah.
I'd have loved it if the three of them just went over and went like that to everyone. Like, every single one of them.
Like me.
Anyway,
like me.
Moving on to someone who's
that assist from Mahrez was fantastic for that Raheem goal, though. That was such a good touch.
Yeah.
First time.
Beautiful.
It's what we miss, isn't it? One touch in the box stuff, you know. Love to see it.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, Chris is just chainsawing somebody. Not literally. If anyone's watching that, holy hell, the chainsaw people on that channel. Mahrez, he's had his critics, but do you know what I liked about him tonight? Mahrez has always been, when you look at him, his biggest thing people say to him, he does everything difficult. He tries to run at everyone and he tries to take on 3 and 4 people and can't do it. Do you know what I love to see tonight with him? Simplicity.
Yes.
Everything was simple. The ball out to the right. If I've got to go back 5 yards, fine, so be it. Did he try 1 or 2 little flicks? Of course he did, but everyone did. You're entitled to when you're in a game and there's that much space going on. But he didn't do anything silly tonight. It was simple. Want to see like his goal, for example. Sterling, lovely ball out. One thing I've always said about Mahrez, he's got a first touch to die for. He just drops it dead. He must have the best first touch in the whole squad. I've always said that. He can knock a ball from 60, 70 yards down, dead to the side.
He must have done kick-ups with eggs when he was a kid, mate.
And the other thing, what I loved about him tonight was that goal. I mean, you look at the Etihad, he'll come in on his foot, on his left foot, and instead of shooting, he'll go back out on his right and then come back in on his left. And it's like he's doing the okey-dokey with himself, and you're like, just hit the bloody thing. And tonight, he just went, screw, touch, in, bang, see you. That was the Mahrez finish that you got at Leicester.
Yes.
Touch, in, bang. Not touch, in, out, in and out, and shake it all about stuff. Stop that crap and just do it. Sterling was guilty of that tonight. He was trying to go in and out with everyone. Just hit the damn thing. And Mahrez did it. You know, when was the last time you saw Mahrez do a first-time cross like that? 9 times out of 10, he's bringing it down and trying to take 4 players on. Just do it simple, and you get so much more out of him. Now, I'm not saying, you know, oh my God, you know, that's the rise of Mahrez. The thing that annoys people is you'll get Mahrez doing that, and then next week he'll be like going back to doing everything difficult again, and you're going, why? Why are you doing it? But Kurt, Mahrez.
You know me, I like Mahrez. I thought he had a really good game today. I wasn't too harsh on him the other day, but I'm sure Pep got into the boys after the Cheltenham game and just said, look, lads, wake up call. You know what I mean? Simple as, like, no more of this rubbish. Business time, you know what I mean? Back end of the season, like, no more of this. And it did feel like everyone responded. Obviously, the substitutes. Obviously, I think Laporte was the standout just because he had probably more touches of the ball than the other substitutes. But for me, Mahrez tonight was great. Like you said, he was doing a lot more direct stuff with the ball rather than trying to come inside, go back outside, cut back in. That he's doing his chops like he likes to do. And I'll bring up a comment that Andy made in the comments there. It was just a lot more gambling from everyone, which is what we've been moaning about recently. It's like people running to the back post. Not everyone waiting for a cutback or everyone running to the front post. It was you go in there, I'm going to go here, you're going to go there. We're going to have options. One of them's going to come off. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good tonight.
Kurt, let me follow up on that train of thought. Do you think the reason why the forwards are being more progressive in the final third is because they know that at the back they have Stones and Diaz cover in case they lose the ball?
I think it is that, but I also think it is Cancelo just being, because before we used to play with an inverted fullback that would basically sit as a second DM. But now instead of him sitting as a second DM, he's basically in a second 8 sort of thing, and that's just creating an overload on the right side or the left side. And that's just, like I said, it's just dragging players out and giving us a little bit more space. And where we're not playing with the 9, Mahrez plays up front for 10 minutes, then Bernardo does, then Sterling does, then Foden does. So it's just one of those. It's just hard. Like normally when you're defending, you're told, here's your man, you hand on your man. It's very simple, but playing against that's just not simple at all. I'm a left back, but what I played, and I'd hate playing against a team like that. It's scared the living daylights out of me.
I mean, again, I coach, so we have some teams that play not like Man City, but they're female teams. So my daughter's in one of the teams, and the US female team they're really good, right?
Yeah, I know the women's football in America is very.
And some of the girls that we play, some U16 girls play like that, and when I play against them, it's just confusion because you don't know who to pick up. They're just moving around the whole place, and
it's organizing it on the pitch, because it's all well and good your manager getting in halftime and explaining to you what's going on, but you've got to organize yourself on the pitch at the time with all these permeating points. It's great.
It's hard.
Can I just? I'm just gonna bring up a couple of points when I can find it. Nathan Clark could be a really good point. This Pep's doing what he did with Kimmich at Bayern with Cancelo, basically.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
Yeah.
Basically an auxiliary box-to-box midfielder, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's a very simplified version of it, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
It's far more complicated than that.
Manager's always been lightweight, Martin. No, I understand that, Scott, well, and that's why I said one performance doesn't mean he's got to now build on it. But what I think what annoys City fans, Scott Molly, mate, what I think anyway is
consistency.
Yeah. You'll get that tonight. The next 4 games, you won't get it, and you're like, just do things simple.
On the US feed tonight, the commentator said, "What exactly does Cancelo do? What is he? Is he a fullback? Is he a midfielder? Is he?" They were confused. I mean, literally confused.
Mate.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Even Martin's on top form, Kex. You saying I'm not normal? Cheeky devil. Well, thank you.
Kex, Martin was like fine wine yesterday. I mean, the guys were really good. Chris was the stats man. Kurt was like, Kurt, you should take over from McManaman at BT Sports. Really?
Oh, mate, I'll take his paycheck, mate.
So hang on.
Martin was just fine, smooth, like 30-year-old port. Really good.
So I'm an old git.
No, yeah.
No, I appreciate that, mate.
Really
you've got Chris going to Sky to do KARL. You're going off to do BT. What's Andy doing? Someone had Andy going somewhere.
Martin's going to talk sport.
I'm going to talk sport on Sky. So it looks like Tom, KARL,
and your own, mate.
Alan are going to run Man City Fan TV.
There we go.
Tom, KARL, and Alan. Andy's sat there now typing, bloody are not. Bloody. Leaving it in the hands of Alan. No chance. Man. Right, let's move on to that 5th goal. I will bring him. We're going to talk about Bernardo as well. I thought had a I'm struggling to see anyone who had a bad game tonight. I even defended Zinchenko against Chris.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to have my little talk about Zinchenko, but yeah, I don't want to make it the Zinchenko stream.
No, that's fine. I mean, 5th goal, like I said, Rodri, I thought was. I'm going to say this. I'm going to sound so.
I
think that was amazing tonight.
That's amazing. quick. He was passing the ball so quickly, moving the ball quickly.
It was like a ghost, and I mean that in the opposite of a derogatory term. Like he was just ghosting everywhere he needed to be. Like he was like a shadow on players, you know.
Yeah.
He was just like everywhere. Like normally, there's at least one part of a game where I go, "Oh, Rodri, you don't want to be doing that, mate." Oh, that's a bit of a. I'm a bit like that, but not a single time tonight. It was just amazing.
I've just got the picture at home going, "Oh, Rodri, you don't want to do that. You want to do that?"
Mate, you don't want to be like watching me when I'm watching a game of football, mate. I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
Harry Enfield, you might not account, but Harry Enfield, it was like two old men. And he's like, "Oh, you don't want to do this. You want to do it like that." Like, doing that.
Just like I scream at my TV. I'm terrible, mate. My neighbours must hate me.
Go on, Carl.
No, I scream as well. I just my kids, my wife, they leave me alone. They just go away. Don't come near. But Rodri was right. He was a ghost. That's the proper term.
Everywhere. That's fine, mate. No problem. Champagne football. Yeah, what it was tonight. Will never happen. Hey, I told you, never happening. Never happening. I'm not going to slide. I'd rather be poor than work for those toss pots. Thank you. Anyway, let's move on to it. So, Rodri, I thought he had a great game. What I liked about him tonight is when he lost the ball, he did go back and get it straight away. He was like, screw it. Now, on the other side of the coin, it was only West Brom and they were poor.
Yeah.
Well, let's put a little bit of perspective onto it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think Rodri's done well all season. I don't see this, that he's ploddery or whatever anyone else wants to see. I don't see it. I think what he does is, I always say, I think it's down to the Fernandinho thing. I think as people don't want to let go of Fernandinho. It's like you always get it. Whoever, it's like this is going to be a real bad thing, but like Ferguson, when he was at United, whoever was going to go in after Ferguson, the next manager, was going to get the grief. And it's the same with players. Certain fan favourites, whoever goes in afterwards, he's got to live up to that. And that's what I think Rodri's sometimes going to be always guilty of.
I was thinking of Rodri recently. I was just thinking about him now. He's been playing on his own in that DM position. And I remember a point you were making a while back, Martin, when you were talking about having two in there. That's sort of like they get in each other's way and he doesn't really know. And it's sort of like a bit unnatural and it feels a bit weird. Of the last few times that he's played on his own, he's absolutely bossed it. I will say that, to be fair. He's done absolutely exceptional. But like you said, it was only West Brom, but you got to beat what's in front of you. And their midfield didn't have a sniff of anything. Livermore didn't get on the ball at all tonight. And that was because of our determination to win the ball back and keep the pressure on.
Yeah. Zinchenko. Come on then, Kurt. Because me and Chris had a chat at half time and Chris said, I thought Zinchenko had done well. And Chris, I thought giving the ball away a few times.
I think it's the ball away 2 times.
See that a few times. Like people did do that. I mean, what did you think of Zinchenko tonight?
Well, the thing is, even when the balls were lost, the way not only him and the rest of the team went around getting the ball back was from a couple of years ago, the type of tenacity to win the ball back tonight. I just thought he was a really, really another solid, consistent performance. Didn't really, like I said, he lost the ball a couple of times, but he did a really, really great job. I think when he moved into midfield, I think his deliveries from the corners were fantastic, on the button every time. Did a nice one to the back post, and Mahrez had probably his worst cross of the night, so we worked ourselves in some really nice positions. I just think it's great for him on a personal level because it looked for a lot of favour like he was never going to see the light of day playing for Man City again. It looked like for a wee while there, but he's worked himself back in and he's allowed Cancelo to play consistently on that right, which is something we've also got to give him credit for. And when Walker's back to his full fitness after recovering from COVID, it's just more options. It's great.
Yeah, there you go. The club's documentary. Thank you so much. Andy will be tickled pink with that one here. Andy, me versus Roy Keane. I don't want to say that. Well, I'm just going to bring up your comment now, mate. There's loads on. There's 130 on at the moment, so I do apologise. You seriously need to watch the game back on Rodri. I gave the ball away so easily. Listen, Scotty Moll, you have an agenda against Rodri, mate, which is fine. It's up to you. We're never going to agree. You don't like Rodri. I think he's very, very underrated.
He's not going anywhere. We know that, right?
He's not going to go anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. So
the thing is, even if you lost the ball, you can lose the ball, but it's about what you do once you lose the ball. And I thought everyone showed great determination tonight from every part of the pitch to win the ball back when they lost it or got dispossessed.
Exactly, correct. Exactly.
Scotty Morrison's banging me head against a brick wall. We're never going to agree, mate, on the Rodri thing. Never. You know, it's like getting other people to agree. The Charles Blue Martin, where's Kiam? He's not negative. He just winds you up and you all fall.
I love him. I love Kiam. Just
Carl, your opinions on the Ukrainian maestro?
I thought he was okay. I thought he was good. I thought, I didn't keep my eye on him, but I thought he did a job. Right? Again, 7 over 10, just consistent for the most part. Didn't make a mistake. I didn't see any mistakes. It just did a job. So I can't complain. And he's more consistent than Mendy. So Mendy can have an 8 over 10, then 3 over 10, but he just 7 over 10, 6.5, 7 over 10. It's all we need. Yeah.
You know what I love about tonight? We're not talking about Diaz and Stones. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
It would be disingenuous to talk about the things because the comments that we've always made, or at least a lot of us on here that have made about Diaz and Stones, it's because they've been the pinnacle reasons why we won those games. We weren't scoring a lot of goals. It was our defense that was winning the game. But when you win 5-0, you're not exactly going to be waxing lyrical about your 2 centre-backs who had to deal with, I don't even know how many shots on target they had in the end.
Like 2 or 3.
It was 2 or 3, yeah.
Kiam is like a bus. He just arrives. And when you might miss him, like a missing bus, 2 arrive at the same time when you're not expecting it. I know
that feeling, mate.
Right, Bernardo Silva. Now listen, I was quoted a couple of weeks back where I said I would sell him for the right price. I'm still kind of in that mold a little bit. Not because I'm harsh on Bernardo Silva. I'm just my tagline was for the right price because I always think every player's got a price. I'm like that. Plus, Andy did put me on the bloody spot in the middle of name your players now, so I was like, oh god, right, okay. But I'll tell you what, he really impressed me tonight. Don't know whether it's the long hair or he's just getting. Maybe it's the run of games. I thought he did really, really well. And what I enjoyed tonight was him and Foden. The game was done. He got taken off. He got arrested.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the biggest shot was. Them to have an arrest or the fact is Pep was making a sub at 50-odd minutes and out you were coming. It was like, wow. I liked it. I like it now. A lot of energy.
Duracell, mate. Duracell.
Go on, Carl.
The first time I saw Bernardo was I was at the Etihad. It was the Monaco game. I was there in person. And he ran the game. He ran that game. And I asked the question, the 2 seasons that he's seemingly done well in are 18-19 and now after January, last weekend coming on. What are the 2 things that are similar between 18-19 and now? Somebody's missing.
Kevin De Bruyne's position.
Right. So the question is, is Bernardo living up to the expectation because now he has the freedom to play the position that he wants to play, kind of inside right, which Kevin normally plays? And does Kevin's presence limit his ability to play in that position, making him play out wide, which is not his natural position? That's kind of the question.
So I'm laughing at Sky Mo.
For me, with Bernardo, I remember he had an interview when they pressed him like a few questions about the position that he plays. And he basically said, look, I played wide right. I played wide right for the national team. I played inside for Monaco. I'm playing a lot more games outside for City. The thing with that position is I don't think they're too dissimilar because when Kevin De Bruyne is on the pitch, he can occupy that right wing and allow him to just sort of switch in, which is Bernardo can do the exact same thing when he plays in that position. But I think he is better inside than outside personally. But yeah, I think his form's been ramping up. I'm really impressed with Bernardo recently. He's not been having 8 out of 10s, but they've been 6.5, 7s out of 10s. And then, like I said, we're all building towards the important games coming up.
Correct.
Yeah, man. When you've sat watching City in the 3rd division, you just can't shake that negativity. I blame it on GMR. Nippon, we may touch on that near the end, mate, just for you. But the moment we're just waxing lyrical on being top of the league. But we will mention Thomas Tuchel if you want near the end, just as a little thing for you. But
I have a friend of mine
no
here.
sense of love. Love you too, Bubblegum.
I have a friend of mine here. He's a United fan. He sent me a text 2 days ago saying United top of the league. So I took a snapshot of the table. I said, "Hey, you forgot 2012, man. 2012. Remember what happened?"
Hey, mate, annoying rags is always fun.
KARL, I'll be honest. Bernardo wasn't brilliant tonight. He was decent. Bernardo played wide right a lot of the time when he was player of the season. I don't think there's a correlation.
Okay, that's fair enough. I thought he played more of an inside right that season, but yeah, maybe.
I thought tonight all 4 was just moving so much.
We've got 78 likes. Come on, 133 on. Let's hit that big 3 numbers again, guys. That'd be amazing. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. We are on our march to 16,000. I can tell you now, we are approximately 77 away from 16,000. It would be great if we could even hit that tonight or tomorrow or whenever. It'd be great if we could hit that soon. And like I said, our target is 17,000 by the end of the season on our road to 1 million. You never know.
It was good to see Pep really smile. I was happy that he was smiling, and the camera took a shot of him here. We saw it. He was really smiling. He was happy, smiling. It's good to see that, because he suffered. I mean, this season with all that's happened to him and all the Leon disaster. I mean, so it's good to see him perked up again.
Is anyone Phil Foden? We'll talk about him. 100th appearance tonight. Now we're getting a consistent run of games.
Yeah.
Now he's in a position where he's coming off. It was a couple of months back. It was Foden coming on for other players to go off. Now Foden going off for other players to come off to be rested. So big turnaround. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he was his outstanding best tonight.
It wasn't.
Because I think out of everyone who was moving around, I thought the first half he moved around the least. I thought he was generally staying on the left.
Yeah,
he didn't join the magic roundabout so much tonight. He was on that left with Zinchenko doing his overlapping runs like he normally does.
But let's not forget, Martin.
Kevin Rowe.
He played 2-3 days ago, and he played 3 days before. So he will be. He's a young kid. He will be tired, and so
of course,
did a job tonight. Take him off, and he ran the game on Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday? I can't remember. I mean, he literally ran that game, completely. Fernandinho was a captain, but Foden was just running the game, and will get tired. 90 minutes, so he'll get tired.
He isn't a Ray Ingram, I agree with you. Ray Ingram or anything. Fun fact, Cancelo has scored 2 goals on both with his left foot. Hey.
Interesting.
100. No, mate, Thomas, we are now 77 away from it, mate. I've got the exact number here. Thank you very much, Leonard. Appreciate that, mate. Harry, let's move on to this, where I want to go to. Let's face it, elephant in the room. Raz Sterling. Who's got any opinions on Sterling? Because I'm not going to lie. I thought first half he was poor. For me, I thought he was poor. I know he set up the Mahrez goal. Do you know what frustrates me with Sterling? You can see he's got that lack of confidence right now for me. I think the goal will have done him wonders. I wish he wouldn't go down cul-de-sacs a lot. He tends to come inside and hit 3 and 4 players. And I'd love to see him get down that line but put in a couple of decent crosses. But to me, Sterling could be one of the world's best. Absolutely one of the world's best in my eyes. And I just want to see that go up 2 or 3 notches and really kick on. And that's where I think a lot of people get frustrated for Sterling. I do. because I know there's a world-class player right there ready to go.
Yeah.
And I just want to get him unlocked and gone. And like Andy said, he scored 30 goals last season, and some people, including me, still says he didn't have a great season. He was hot and cold. Imagine when he's world-class firing on all cylinders. He could get 40, 50 a season if possible, if he knuckled.
Yeah.
For me, I mean...
I think our expectation for Sterling is up here, right? Everybody else is, or some people on the team, we expect him to be here. But he's so much more talented than a lot of players across many different teams that we expect so much more. And we know what he can do. We look at Ian Robin, we look at Ribéry, we look at even Kylian Mbappe. We look at players like that. And we know he's at that level. If he pushes himself, we want to close that gap. We want him to close that gap because he can do it. He can do it if he puts himself to it. At least for me, that's what I think.
Kurt?
Well, I got a few things on Sterling. I'll start with the more negative stuff and end with the more positive stuff. Like, I didn't think he had a great first half at all. I thought he was the worst player in a City shirt in the first half. He made some awful decisions on the ball in the final third. Was very unproductive. Not like, you know, you can be out of confidence and not take the shot and do the pass, and I can go, oh, he's out of confidence and take the shot. But he wasn't even passing it. He was just running it into the goalie's hands. It was really frustrating. Like I said in the watch along, Raheem Sterling frustrates me more than any other player at Man City, simply because, to add to KARL's point, because I know that he is, on his day, one of the top 5 wingers in the world. And it's just, it's frustrating that we haven't seen him be at that form for quite a while. I made the point for a few weeks that I really think it's the lack of Sergio is why Sterling's not doing well. I think Sterling is better when he's isolated on one side. And I think, for example, Torres, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, I think these players excel more in the rotation-based forward line, and Sterling excels far more in the rigid sort of front line, where it was like he's either on the left or he's on the right. You know, he knows that the balls are going to come from the left, and he's going to need to be on the back post right, for a la the Sane season. So I think that's really the main problem with Raheem Sterling at the moment, is that I just don't think he suits that rotation where he has to play number 9 for 10 minutes, then go on the left for 10 minutes. I think he likes to run at his man a few times, you know, like old-fashioned wingers. You know, like you go at them a couple times, see if they can stay with you, see if they're up for it tonight. You know what I mean? And I think he suits more that. But when you're rotating around the pitch, you're not getting the opportunity to do that as often. You know, I think it's one of those. I really do feel once Sergio, once Gabby's getting a lot more consistent games down the middle, his form will ramp up. But credit to him, and I'll finish on the positive. Credit to him, he did not stop going. He could have easily shied away that game, 3 or 4-0 up, no problem. Boys done it. I can day off for me, sort of thing. But he kept going, got his goal, and like you said, he wanted to shut everybody up and just say, "I'm trying to get back to where I'm my best."
I mean, I will say though, he did put in 2 or 3 dangerous crosses.
He must certainly did.
First half, he stuck one across the, you know, what I call the no man's land.
Can't go out for it.
Do a come, do a not, and then the defender nearly put it in his own goal. It was just no one had gambled on it.
Yeah, but like I've said multiple times, I will admit that I am overly critical of Sterling because I just know how high he can get, and it's frustrating for me. But like I said, exceptional determination to just keep going tonight, and that's what I enjoyed most about his performance tonight for me personally.
Just got to read this super chat out. I do apologise for it.
No worries, mate. That was my point over anyway.
Sir Alan, thank you. You woke up, have you? We are top of the league. Sterling awful, the rest 8 out of 10. It wasn't awful.
Yeah.
I said anyone was awful tonight. Alan is here. Thoughts on Plodra? Oh, sorry, Plodra. And Sterling made 3 brilliant runs in the second. I'm sure it was Laporte, Rodri, and Zinke. Didn't play a half decent ball. Laporte struggled with some balls tonight when he come on.
Let's not forget, Martin. He's still coming back from injury. It's been a while. It takes time to get back in the rhythm, right? So just give him some time. This is to have him play 40 minutes with Diaz and Stones will get him in the rhythm. Let's keep supporting him. It'll come back.
I hope the negatives arrived. Top 4.
Can't believe Alan. about not making top four.
I do want to just say to Andy's point, he is correct. He did have some, and Martin also said he did have some good balls that I am probably not giving him credit for. That in the first half he did, and they were other sides of the pitch were wasteful with it. I do want to say.
I said my frustration with Sterling is I see a world class player there.
That's all that frustration, I think, mate.
I see a world class player that could be amazing. And that's where I think, come on. The scary thing is he's got 2 or 3 levels to go up there.
Yep.
That's the scary thing. He's got 2 or 3 levels. You see certain players where they're playing at the max. And you go, you're not. You've got 2 or 3 levels. And, that's just scary.
Someone made in the comments he got a goal and assist. How was he awful? I don't think anyone's... Okay, a couple of them have said it was awful. But that's just a credit to him. He can get a goal and assist, and he's still got so much more to give.
On the other side of that, Mahrez has had games where he's got a goal and assist, and people have said it's awful.
Yeah.
It works on both sides.
Yeah, but there's just so much more to come from Sterling, and we're all just dying to wait to see it all start clicking, because it will at some point.
A positive from Kiam. Go back, Martin. There we go, Kiam.
I was flipping over it.
He does never stop. That is one thing you can say about Sterling.
Yeah.
Superb performance. Gundogan is a player now I always knew he would be, onwards and upwards. Chris Baker, 14 more likes. Well, 11 more likes now, guys. That is it, and we've hit 100. Let's hit 100 live on air for the second stream running. That would be amazing. Thank you so much. We're not allowed to go to bed. Sterling is a nightmare for defenders running there. We're making really skillful dribbles and runs, but you actually make him shoot. He can. Sterling is so underappreciated. The tapping looks easy, but he's the only one who's there. I agree, because he's the only one who did gamble, Dylan. I agree with that.
Yeah.
No one else gambled. Andy said that earlier on.
Yeah.
Here's a question everyone wanted to drop last night, but all wanted Bernardo to win the team. Sterling got a goal and assist tonight. Bernardo
got an assist.
Sterling. Look, listen, I've always said this. We all see a game different. And the thing is, sometimes you have got to watch a game 2 or 3 times to notice everything. I have always said that. Do we look better without a striker? There's a question. There, KARL. There's one.
That's a question. That's a question.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I know it's sarcasm, Alan. It is. Alan is being sarcastic sometimes, Facts, Martin. What is?
I will never forget when Pep made a comment about 2 years ago that he would love to play with 10 midfielders. And if you think about FC Barcelona, the front 6 were really just midfielders, frankly. Messi, Pedro, Villa, Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta. I mean, some of the best football we've ever seen, right, on the planet. And
we look better without a striker, though, Kurt. It's KARL right? Me and KARL have this little...
I don't think it's that we look better without a striker. I think it's that we've adapted the way we play to play without a striker. I think it's more so that.
Martin, to be fair, imagine Haaland and that team tonight.
Yeah.
Just imagine. I mean, just imagine Haaland in that team tonight. Imagine Haaland and Messi in that team tonight.
Well, you stop with Messi. Gee whiz. You know what? If Messi signs, you and Andy can do your own little stream about Messi. You can have to your ass content on it.
Messi's greatest hits.
Andy, if Messi signs, can we do a 24-hour stream? We can celebrate and raise money for charity.
Don't be nicking my ideas. But I like the damn stream. 2 away from 100 guys. At the start of the game, he did. Kit Woolham did call Cancelo, so well done to you, mate. Anyone else wants to bring up anything up before we ask you your man of the matches?
I'm just trying to think if there's anyone we've not.
Laporte, Stones.
Just the substitutes. I thought they all came on. Like I said, Laporte had the most of the ball out of the substitutes. It was nice to see him get an extended bit of time. I just can't say how pleased I am, mate. The 0 next to our name, Man City, is just fills me with so much happiness, mate. I love clean sheets.
I think Kurt, you make a good point. I think after 70 minutes, I was like, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet.
I was like 50 minutes, mate. Don't worry about that.
Clean sheet, clean sheet.
When we got the 3, I was like, "That's job done, mate. 3's enough for me." But everyone was like, "Let's get some more," and I was like, "I'll take him. I'll take him."
Clean sheet.
Yeah. Diego, hello, buddy. Evening all. Congratulations on you being on your City being top. Is Diego Costa en route to City?
Hope not, mate.
I really hope not.
There are two parts of the performance that I like today. When I looked at the table, I know it's early and I don't really look at the table, but I looked at two things. I look at the goals scored, where one behind Liverpool, goals conceded were the best. So we spread that gap out even more over time, which pleases me significantly. Because a couple of weeks ago, we were what, -1, +1?
Well, we done it. Oh, thank you so much, guys.
Top job, everyone, man.
Thank you. Do you know what? We love KARL. Ideal. We will, KARL. Love the idea. For 24 hours, not a chance you're doing 24 hours.
You can rotate presenters in, like do little stints. 6 hours in, sub him out. 6 hours in. You know what I mean?
And I'm in the US. Andy's in the UK. We'll bring somebody in. You know, we'll make it happen. If he signs, all for charity. We'll do it.
Anyway, what's Dame Edna Everidge got to say about Rodri? He'll be laughing his head off now about that. So basically, what I'm saying is, last night I thought we'd lose to the WA. I think we'll win the Champions League. Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
I'm not. KARL's doing it. Quick one before we go, and we'll bring up man of the match. Man of the match, Kurt.
It's really hard for me. It's literally flip a coin between Gundo and Cancelo for me. But I would give it personally to Gundo, just because that second goal is just everything I love about football.
Not on your Nelly. Right away. KARL.
It's Ilkay, Silky Ilkay. Just magnificent. 45 minutes of just pure excellence, and it came off. That's what we want to see. The German Xavi.
Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna have to.
I do feel a bit remiss giving man of the match to a guy who'd only played 52 minutes, though. That's my only back for that.
I'm not having it. I'm sorry,
but he was so good.
Cancelo.
So good.
To be fair, I'm going to retract. I have to give it Cancelo. I can't give man of the match to someone who only played 50.
Cancelo.
No matter how much I love him, I've got to take it back.
Yeah.
Cancelo looked like Kimmich tonight.
Yeah, it was good.
That's what that is like. It was like that was like Pep's little experiment tonight.
It was good.
Can you do it? Can you do it? Off you go. And that's what I liked about tonight. We were at 4-0 up with 50 odd minutes. And he could go out and experiment a bit. He tried the Laporte, Stones, and Diaz back three.
Yeah.
Laporte looked like he's come back from injury and he's been out for a while. And I still say this, I personally think he's panicking a bit now because I think he's a bit, which I think you do when you know your thing's under pressure. There's such a thing as trying too hard. Like some of them balls last season, Laporte was knocking 40, 50-yard balls for fun and hitting them on a sixpence.
Yeah.
Tonight, they were all going out and going nowhere near. And I think it just comes to confidence, under pressure a bit, because we're all human beings. Players are the same. If you're under pressure at your job, sometimes you can wilt under the pressure. Sometimes you gain confidence under the pressure.
Yeah.
We will see what Laporte does now. But Chris said it the other day, and you said it, KARL. I wouldn't mind Laporte at left back.
You see, what I found interesting was we played a back three, but it wasn't the usual back three, which is really a back five or a 3-4-3. It was a 3-1-3-3, which is the classic Cruyff total football. I mean, if you go back and look at Cruyff, that's what he does. That 3-1-3-3, it's pressing, possession, passing, moving, rotation without a striker. It really is for the very, very, very elite. And I was glad to see that today.
Andy's put Man of the match. Yeah, I mean, Andy, me and Andy are spot on.
Yeah.
If Gundo would have played 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, I know that sounds really arbitrary, but like I do feel bad giving it to someone who only played 52 minutes. But he wasn't subbed off because he was bad. He was subbed off because he's the one at the moment, the man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. City playing great at the moment. So, and the thing is, we've hit 100 likes. Yeah, we're on 110 likes now, Andy. 110 likes. Thank you, all of you. You are amazing. I will say, I've got to say this, a big thank you from everyone on the channel. Well, Andy's put it here, so I'm about to put it up. Thank you, everyone. You're all brilliant for supporting the channel. Please, can you help us get 16K by sharing this channel on your social media accounts? Yeah. Guys, we are less. I'll tell you the exact number while we're here. And people, when you're begging for likes, we're not. We're just trying to. We're 75 away from 16K. We have got a target of 17K by the end of the season. A few months to do it. And trust me now, you know, I just want to say a big thank you to you all. Big thank you to KARL, Kurt, Ross, Alan, Chris, Tom, everyone who's come on. You're welcome, Tom, as a presenter with open arms. And I want to thank you all for that. Tom's going to be an absolute treasure and a pleasure to work with here on the channel. We've got great contributors in these guys that are on, and the two, Pinky and Perky over in Australia, and then you've got Chris, me, and Andy, and Emily, and everyone else, Yannick, who come on. Thank you. And the views and the interaction have gone through the roof lately, and I can only thank you from me, Andy, and Chris, and Tom. You are all amazing. Thank you. It is a pleasure to do this with you guys. And all I can say is onwards and upwards, and I'm sure we will. And I'm hoping by May we have a big party. And then next season, it'll be great to actually put faces to some of these names and we all meet up at the Etihad. Trust me, you know where we'll be. And we will be there. And it'd be great if we can get a nice big meet up at the Etihad with some of you guys. That would be out of this world. And you can buy Chris and Moretta because no doubt we'll need it. Ryan Corrie, but that's me, Andy, and Chris and Tom. Thank you. I'm fine. Watched 2 Ready Entertaining games tonight, and I'm sat on a mill for Team of the Year on FIFA.
Not too bad, eh?
He's all right. A mill? How'd you get that? Someone's been buying coins. Sorry, if some player scores 3 goals and assists, but you only played 15 minutes, Kurt, you're not giving him man of the match.
I know. I just feel bad. He only played the 52. Gundo, I'm just biased to Gundo, and I don't want to be overly biased. That's all I'm trying to say. I love Gundo. Gundo's my guy. Gundo and Fernandinho, I love them too. What can I say? Great men.
There you go, then. Thank you, Scotty Moll, Ollie Moff, Denny Putman. I want these guys to debate. Can we win the Champions League this year? Go on. Final thing, then.
Who wants to go for it first?
Rock, paper, scissors. KARL, go on.
Can we win the Champions League?
Yeah.
Why not? We can. Will we win it? We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
It's two-legged this year, right? In the knockouts. It's back to two-legged, right? Yeah. Yep. So it's 7 games to win it, right?
Yep.
Pretty sure we can win 7 games.
All things being equal.
Doesn't mean we're going to, but I'm pretty sure we can.
And the luck of the draw.
Yeah,
sorry, big thank you to Ryan and Kamal as well. I do. Kamal comes on here and he does take care of our Instagram accounts and that. Thank you. And Ryan Corrie, we miss you and we will get you back on at some point. I promise you. But yeah, I've told you we're going to win the quad.
He did say it, to be fair.
Said it to you.
It went from you went, I don't know what's going to go on this season. Then you went, no, it just something happened, and you went, it's the quad, baby, it's happening.
Do you know what it was? You know what it was? And Pep said it the other day. It was that Southampton game that made me start believing.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Southampton were top. They were flying.
And they had fans. Let's not forget that.
They had fans. We hadn't beat anyone near the top at that point. We were struggling. I said this to you, KARL. And I said beating the top 6 matters. Some at Liverpool and United are not doing at the moment. We are. And then we followed it up going to Chelsea and winning. I think the Everton postponement was the best thing that ever happened, even though conspiracy theorists will throw out, we planned it. What a load of BS. It was
I personally think the Tottenham loss was a big turning point for us this season. I think that just showed us, you know, it just showed us how a game can turn and go from okay to pretty badly pretty quickly, and how you need to just be switched on. And that's what we've been consistently for the last 10 or so games, is just switched on from the first whistle to the final whistle.
Yep.
Kurt, you should see my 50th present from my lads if you love Gundo. Yeah,
I do love Gundo, man. I'd love to see it. You have to show me sometime.
There he is. He said we will win the. He said we win the quad after he'd argue with me over Pep. Go back and look. Yeah, listen. I've never said Pep out. I said, listen. I was like most City fans after 5 or 6 games. I was worried, but I can only look at what's in front of me. And at the time, we were playing like 11 plodderers. We were plodding our way through games. We were getting overrun. We were slow. We weren't putting chances away. Summit has bit up Man City now. We've pressed the on button and we're going. And whether we've stumbled across a system that suits, whether everyone's just had a good rest now and they're now firing and they've got the energy in the legs that they didn't have for the first 5 or 6 games, I don't know. But anyone in here telling me that they thought we were going to win loads of trophies after 5 or 6 games wasn't really the case. There was Andy. I think KARL was confident.
I was on the wagon with KARL and Andy. I thought it was only going to go one way, and that was going to be our way.
Yeah,
I've just said you. Listen, 2 of these, one of them. I said to you. I just said Andy and KARL said we'd win. Did I just say that? Yes,
you did, mate.
2 of these. Come on, you like this one. 2 of these, one of them.
Beep, beep, beep.
Go on. Anyone else?
No, just whenever you win, you have to look at your rivals too. There's some big games coming up for our rivals starting tomorrow. I think Everton-Leicester is a big game, right? Someone's going to drop points. United versus Arsenal is a big game.
Charlie's saying it here.
Right. Spurs and Liverpool is a massive game.
Yeah. We've got big games coming up as well. This month, as it is in almost every season, February separates the pretenders from the ones that have really got a shot at it. And we will know very much at the end of this month where we're at.
Yep. So over the next couple of days, we could be a couple of points ahead, or tied with United, or tied with United going into February 7th. So it all depends. It's a big week coming up. The next 7 to 10 days are huge.
Yeah, and shame on you, Leonard. And Alan's given us another super chat. Thank you. We all said Pep out. No, we didn't. You did. I didn't. I never said Pep out. I never once said Pep out. I questioned Pep, and I've always said every manager is allowed to be questioned at some point. No manager is not allowed to. No manager is beyond criticism.
Yeah.
Please remember that. That's what I've always said. I didn't say sacking, though. We talked about replacements because at the time he had 6 months left in his contract and we didn't know what was going to happen. People don't have twist everything you ever say, don't they? Hang on. Am I allowed to chainsaw Alan? No. Whoa, where's that come from? Right, anyway, don't include me in that. And don't include me in that either. I've not said that. Anyway, February is a big month. We've had a great 2 months, says Martin. I want to say a big thank you to these two, Kurt and KARL, for coming on.
Always a pleasure, mate. I'm happy to do it.
Always a pleasure, mate. Fantastic pleasure.
City are top of the league. We march on. Please, I won't be here now for the next couple of days. I will be back on Friday for the Friday night social where we will talk about the week that's been and any talking points. We may have a little bit of a discussion on VAR because that seems to have been the talking point this week, and we might get that on because apparently there's a new rule coming now. Apparently all the players and clubs have now had this new offside or the proper offside rule explained to them. It's funny how it takes an incident like the Rodri incident, to remind people of rules. Funny.
How's a clubs not know the rules of the game that they're playing.
It's incredible.
It is amazing.
It's one thing us not knowing,
Unbelievable.
but it's not our jobs.
Unbelievable.
But guys, join Tom on Thursday. We have a very special vlog on Thursday. We are going to have a half-time review of the season. Tom is going to be joined, don't know yet, by someone to have a half-time review of the season. Every game, every player will get a grade. They'll get talked about. Yeah. So tune in on Thursday with Tom and his guest to talk about that. I'll be back Friday with Friday Night Social. Well, thank you all for your amazing contribution this evening. You've been amazing. I'd say we were top two comfortably in a bad case. We win the league at the start of the season. Another great stream, guys. Bye, Martin, Carl, Kurt. Thank you. 2021 has started with a bang. It has.
Nice.
Chris Baker. Thank you, Martin, Kurt, and Carl. Love you all. Big kiss. Big kiss. He'll know what I mean by that. Big kiss. Every time we're on the phone, I do that. He puts the phone down. Martin, you are training to finally play me at FIFA. I am getting good now. You don't want to play me, mate. Take care, Blues. Great stream. Thank you. Good health, fellas. Good health to you, mate.
Just tastes blue.
Was that Martin? Was that beat Martin reversing? See you, Charlie. Thanks to Martin for the great watch along. Kurt and Carl for great. Do you mean Kurt and Carl for the great post match? What do you mean I've been chopped liver? Great stream, guys. Thank you. Thanks for supporting the channel. You lovely Blues. Spread the word. Yeah, get on your social media and help us get to 16K. 125 likes. And you have been amazing. Thank you. Have a great week, Blues. I'll be back Friday. But Man City, for at least 24 hours, will be top of the league. We hand it over to Sheffield United now. Miracles do happen, and they might just go. They've got 2 games in Manchester coming up, and we're hoping they get 3 points over in Trafford. And we'll see what happens. You talk garbage. It's just not very nice at all, is it?
That's a closing statement.
Top out, boys. Great laugh. Stay safe, Manchester. You too, buddy. Night Blues. Take care. Take care, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'll be back Friday. Join Tom Thursday. Yeah. Top of the league. The quad is on. See you all at the end of the week. And as always, the Blues.